My clients book hundreds of sales calls every single month off of LinkedIn. And here's the secret to doing that. You want to be hyper specific in the DMs. The more specific you are, the more trust, connection, and authority you build with your prospects in the DMs. And here are the 5 ways to do that. You quote specific numbers and results that you got in the DMs. So if I'm a Facebook ads agency and I just got someone really good results and I want to highlight that in the DMs, I'm not just going to say, hey, I worked with a client and got them great results. I'm going to say something like, I worked with Ben, a health coach. We ran Facebook ads for 3 months. We got a 3.7x ROAS, spent $50,000 and made $185,000 back. So specific results, how they impacted revenue, use different numbers, use different metrics and timelines. The second way to be specific is to provide specific advice in the DMs. If you uncover a pain point your prospect has and you feel confident that you can help them with it, great. Give them actual tangible advice. For example, something you might say if you're talking to an agency owner who has low margins is, man, in my experience, I've scaled 2 agencies to over $100,000 a month. Your margins need to be 60 to 70% so you can properly scale. Most agency owners who are doing 10 to 20K a month think that, hey, they can scale on 20, 30% margins, but that's not the case because you need to go out and hire A players to properly be able to scale. You can't pay your employees $4 an hour and expect to scale to $50,000, $100,000 a month. So I'm providing advice that is incredibly specific to my prospect in terms of action that the prospect can now go out and take. And in doing this, I built my authority up with the prospect, and also I'm giving them free advice. This shows that I'm non-needy and I'm not just trying to make the sale. The third thing here, you want to be specific when connecting personally. Let's say I'm DMing someone from Lithuania. I'm a big basketball guy. So I know there's a Lithuanian basketball player named Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He was like 7'3" back in the mid to late 2000s, and he played on the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron. So I'm going to say, you're from Lithuania? You guys are tall. Aren't the men like 6'1" on average? Actually, it's funny. Zydrunas Ilgauskas was one of my favorite basketball players growing up. His mid-range was so silky. Okay, I'm being super specific here when connecting personally. And when you're DMing, you want to have a multi-thread conversation, which means connect on business and connect on personal. At least in your initial series of DMs, the personal side slowly but surely, maybe quickly but surely, drops off. And now you have that built-in connection and rapport with the prospect. Next, you want to be specific when giving compliments to your prospect. I call it giving a restrained compliment. It's a compliment from a 4 to a 6 out of 10 in enthusiasm. So most people, when they compliment, they're like, I absolutely love what you're doing with LinkedIn League. Wow, it's incredible. They're conveying themselves as someone who's a rookie, who hasn't been there and done that, who hasn't had experience, and who is easily impressed. This is the opposite of what you want to do. So you want to lay back and relax on your enthusiasm, and you want to be specific when you're complimenting your prospect in this restrained type of way. So if you're DMing me, you'd be like, LinkedIn League looks pretty cool. I like your multi-thread conversational approach. You just had a client, Jenny, who went 0 to 10K a month in 52 days, right? Being specific, showing that you did your research. It's incredibly important. So in your conversations, you're connecting personally, you're prying pain points, and also you want to make authority building observations. These are statements that convey yourself to the prospect as someone that's an expert in their niche. So if I'm DMing someone that's in the cold email space, I'm going to be like, it's crazy how fast the cold email game changes. It seems like every week Microsoft and Google are changing their deliverability guidelines. Actually, 3-4 years ago, I used to use Mailshake and Lemlist a lot. It seems like Instantly and SmartLead are like the 2 hottest softwares right now. So I'm naming specific software tools. I'm opening up about my experience in their niche, and I'm using specific numbers, metrics, timelines, going in depth and showcasing my authority in their niche. This builds you up as someone who actually knows what they're talking about. Like we said before, the more specificity you have in your DMs, the more trusted you're going to be, the more authority you build, and the higher chances you have of actually booking that sales call and signing that client. People can see through fluff and BS. They're pitched all the time. So if you're super ambiguous in your DMs, you're just not going to book that call. And here's a bonus. You want to be specific in your profile and in your content. You went out and got a client great results. Fantastic. Put that in your profile. Talk about the specific metrics you helped them hit. How much much money you help them make, how much time you help them save, specific statistics from your cold email campaign or ad campaign or whatever it is you do. And you want to do the same thing in your content. When you post on LinkedIn or any other platform, really, be specific, provide examples. So great, now you're specific in your DMs, but in order to sign clients from LinkedIn consistently, I'm talking 3 to 5 clients every single month, you want to click this video right here. It's incredibly important for your LinkedIn client acquisition journey.